Well, that's got to be the most productive hour spent in a practice session than I've ever had.
If you're serious about wanting to become a better golfer, then do not go anywhere. I started this video with a serious swing issue that has been a problem for some time and resolved in under 1 hour. Trust me, this is no joke or an exaggeration. I was blown away by how this swing fault was diagnosed and how quickly it was resolved. As you can see, I have a tendency to hit the ball left of target. Now most of the time I blame TrackMan. It couldn't be my swing, could it? Well, TrackMan was adamant that I have an issue. The problem is, without the help of a golf coach, I wasn't able to diagnose the problem. This is Hackmotion 2.0, which describes itself as a golf coach on your wrist. It's easy to assemble, the device body is worn as you would a watch, and the sensor attaches to the back of your hand in one of 2 ways and is unnoticeable once in situ. In simple terms, the device measures the position of your wrist at address, top of swing and impact. And with only 10 swings, Hackmotion is able to identify your key issue and provide you with a personalized training program with drills to improve and ultimately resolve your issues. This was my first experience from out of the box, and don't go anywhere, the results are mind-blowing.
So, just hit my first 10 shots and it explains my overview is ready to look at, and this is just mind-blowing. So first of all, address is good, takeaway has some issues, and at the top I also have some issues, but the main problem being, it suggests, is at impact. So I'm going to go straight to the main problem. So only 10% of my strikes were in range of where we want to be, 90% were too flexed, and 0 were too extended. And you've got this great visual as to where it shows you, and this is what works for me, is that I'm understanding through a visual aid what it is I'm doing wrong. So I don't need an explanation, I can physically see my position versus where the target position is, and I can sort of understand what my issues are. I love that. Address position, we were 100% acceptable. Things start well until I start to swing the club, that means. And then it really does highlight my inside takeaway. A lot of you will know I'm sort of very flat and inside, and it suggests that I've got a real problem there. 100% of my shots had an issue, so that's something we can look at. And at the top of the swing, I've got a slightly bowed position in terms of at top of the wrist, at top of the swing. So what it now does is takes me from these issues to suggestions on how I might be able to fix some of these with some drills. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with that impact position and see what it tells me that I do. All I need to do, fix this issue. If only it were that simple, eh? Go to a training program. Here we go.
So my first drill was to execute a half swing, trying to better understand how my takeaway position was too inside and how I could make a simple correction to fix. And secondly, recognizing that I had a tendency to smother the ball at impact, and the aim of the drill was for me to keep the forearm and wrist angles aligned through impact.
Just closed it a bit there, see, left. Yeah, you can feel it. It's only because you're actually concentrating on something rather than just bashing away.
Yeah.
That's good, that one. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was okay. Leaked a tad right, I think. Yep. So what you start to do is you all of a sudden start to understand. So all I've done in focusing on this video is really taking the biggest problem for me, which was that impact position. And they're all the drills that I've worked on in these different stages. But what you start to understand once you're getting feedback from something is the sort of the right and the wrong. So almost every shot that I hit, I can tell if I've pulled it, I can tell if I've left that club face open, and that's all from my impact position. So it's incredibly intuitive, and just seeing that feedback right there in front of you, well, for me at least anyway, it's my type of learning. So it's a direct kind of, yeah, just a direct message to the brain. So I'm focusing on one thing, and that's trying to keep the club from going too far behind me, which is a problem. And then through impact, it's just holding off a little bit. I've had this tendency, it looks like, to just smother it over to the left-hand side. So it's just a balance between the two. And again, I don't think that's too bad at all. Yeah, so it's great. And what it's telling me down on here now, and you've probably got, actually you've got a screen recording showing you anyway, it shows me that the green light essentially means that that's good. So really impressed with, or first impressions, incredible. And like I said, this is only working at the moment on one part of my swing, which is that impact position. Let's have one more go. Just teaching me again just to hold off a little bit, not flip the hands over, and I'm amazed at how much it just resonates in my brain, and how we're hitting straight shots. Very controlled shots still, and what interests me is what happens when you go, I'm hitting an 8-iron with these sort of half, three-quarter swings. What happens when you go into driver? So there's so much more we can learn throughout this whole process.
I call this Hackmotion 2.0, and I do believe there is a trade-in option for those who have the original device. The new carry case is a big improvement rather than have loose in your golf bag. It is also smaller in size and a new strap and connection to the sensor. For those asking for prices, on screen is a breakdown of costs, and you can get a 5% discount by quoting the code AVERAGE and follow the link in the description below.
Right, so now the moment of truth, because what the app then asks you to do is start another practice session. But effectively what we're doing is going to reevaluate the whole swing. So what I'm hoping is that practice drill with the impact position will have an overall, well, positive impact on my results. So 10 more shots, and then we'll have a review of my sort of original swing today versus the new. Well, straight away, I mean, it wasn't the best of swings. It was a little bit slow, but what it told me was that everything was good. So at the moment, we're 1 from 1, right? It's incredible, just, I mean, that was what I felt was a good strike again. I've got that club face just a little bit, feels a little bit open on that one, but it's still more than good enough. Right. Just turn the body a little bit more. I can't stress enough how sort of intuitive it is, and that you don't have to do a great deal to get your head around this and start making what I would suggest are immediate improvements. Yep. So much better. It's incredible. And this, don't forget, is in the space of the first hour of actually opening the box. Never tried the device before today, and I feel like the improvements are incredible. It's amazing. Still managed to get a good enough result by trying to do. It didn't feel great, but what it's doing, it's keeping me down there. It's keeping me sort of in range every time. It's a huge difference in such a short space. Sorry to repeat myself, but I am looking down at the kind of, it's not just what I'm seeing in terms of TrackMan, it's what I'm actually feeling. It's a very different swing, mainly concentrating on impact, I must admit. That's the one thing that I am personally, oh, and shut up. Got away with that one. Stop talking. Again, even the poorest of shots still go straight. So it's that controlling of the club face for me, not flipping everything left, which has been the big problem with my swing. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll see that it's something that I do a lot with TrackMan switched on. It's just, we're getting a lot of green lights, as you can see, which is hugely positive. What we've not done really is extended the swing too much, so let's try and do that. That felt really good. So that was the biggest swing we've hit, and we're right down the centre stripe. It actually felt easier to do with a full swing than it did with a sort of quarter swing, because there's a bit more freedom in it. If I get, almost got, impact just went a little bit there, but that's another 10 shots done. So what I'll do is I'll end that session and just see what the overview is with my sort of where I started this morning compared to where I finished. But I can tell you, irrelevant of what that says, it feels a whole lot better and something that I've got to work on. The one thing I can report is that the app is, again, very intuitive, very straightforward. So it tells me my overview is ready. Oh wow, so we've still got a main issue being impact, but address was good, takeaway was good, top was good, and our impact position is still. So we had, and I say still because 80% was in range and 20% was too flexed. And again, you can still see that sort of my position versus the target position, and we get this simple option down on the bottom, fix this issue, and you go to training program, and again we'll be offered drills and a process to go through to try and concentrate on that impact position. So that is my first efforts in terms of Hackmotion. I'll be honest with you, I was kind of skeptical before I tried this thing on. I cannot believe the accuracy. I cannot believe how comfortable it is to wear. I must confess that I preferred this, this clip into the glove as opposed to the strap around the hand. I tried that first of all. I just felt it was a little bit, well, I knew it was there, whereas when I put this on, there was no, I just didn't know that the thing was attached at all. It's so clever as to, you know, once you see your hand sort of moving and how accurate it is picking up your movements. The data is fed back to you super quick, so you've got your phone in front of you and you're seeing immediate response straight away. And well, at this stage at least anyway, I couldn't speak highly enough of what this thing has done in such a short space of time. It's incredible. What I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on using this throughout the next 6 months, and I'm going to come back to it periodically. So in the next 6-8 weeks, I will do a follow-up. I'll let you know how the practice sessions have been going, other areas that I've been able to concentrate on. And like I said, for me, the next phase is to sort of pick up driver, or certainly longer clubs, and see what happens when I've got driver in hand and how much, you know, kind of things start to change, because I've got a feeling they might. And controlling the sort of those angles with the longer shaft in hand might prove a challenge. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Let me know what you thought of Hackmotion, and any feedback. If you've tried this thing for yourself, then let your fellow golfers know if I'm talking a load of rubbish, or if actually there is some good use in this thing, because like I said, I could not be more positive. Right, as ever, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all soon.